Good evening. Good evening. Welcome on. Thank you for getting on tonight. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Sister Michelle. Good evening. I hope you had a good day. How you do that today? Well, I hear this. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, I messed it up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So how you make this that big? Where? This button? This. Okay, so I guess did you not get to see the oops. How do you get this that big? This is real talk. Real talk. Let's talk about it. Oh Lord, baby. Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, Kim
Hello.
Thomas. Hey, Evelyn Lane. How you all?
Hey, Shaq.
Zach, how are you?
Hey,
Mr.
Ian. How you doing?
Michelle.
Hey, Toy. You ordered my book. Oh, thank you for your support. I appreciate y'all. I really appreciate it. Anytime somebody does something for me, I appreciate it.
My brother Carl, how you doing, man?
Yes.
Sister Gaston, how are you?
All right. Thank you so much for getting on. I think we got it right. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Sister Craft. Hey, Jen. Who else? Oh.
I think it's everybody right now.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, of course, y'all. We are talking about something tonight that's impacted me personally, and it's just all over the news. It's impacting a lot of us. So tonight we're going to talk about navigating mental health, the mental health crisis across generations, and how we help ourselves and others. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about navigating the mental health crisis across generations and how we help ourselves and each other, because I think that's important. This is an important conversation because I know that we all deal with it, whether we're dealing with our own mental health challenges and or someone in our family. And I know I've been impacted by mental health in my family as well as myself, right? And so just welcome in tonight. Welcome tonight. We're going to jump right in. We're so glad you're here. So before we get started, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to get one person in your mind. Get one person in your mind that you know have struggled with mental health. And then I want you to keep that person in mind as we are discussing this, because this live tonight is for you and it's for that person that is facing mental health challenges.
Yeah, and there's a stigma in the black community, in the black church, that we don't really deal with mental illness. It's not a thing for black folks, but it really is a thing. A lot of people suffer from mental illness. I think I read a percentage, like 38% of Americans deal with this issue of having a mental disorder.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so David already talked about it. They have research to tell us about how many people are impacted by mental health issues. And the thing about it is that it gets, for some strange reason, they say after 2020, after COVID, it even grew. It increased, that people started having even more challenges with mental health. And everywhere you look, at your home, at work, at church, at school, someone is fighting the silent battle, because they call it silent because we don't normally like to talk about it, especially in the African American community.
And I think it's especially prevalent now, to the forefront now, because of what happened with this young man that played for the Dallas Cowboys, Marshawn Nealon.
The other baby from LSU.
Young man was 24 years old, a rookie in the NFL. That week on November 3rd, he had just scored his first NFL touchdown in the game on Monday night. And what should have been a week of triumph turned into a week of tragedy, because 2 days later, this young man took his own life. And maybe the reason he committed suicide because no one was committed to him. You know, he's on a team with a 58-man roster, with 12 coaches, and with a extensive staff, and no one saw this coming. No one saw it coming.
And so that's why we want to talk about what it looks like across different ages and how we can show up better for each other. Because that's important. You said that he was surrounded by all these people in the NFL, a dream come true probably, and still end up committing suicide.
Yeah, and no one had no idea he was playing. He was playing with a troubled mind.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And so we're going to talk about what different generations are facing. So let's first start with our children and teens. And this is important to me because I love young people. I love children. I love teens. So our kids they're not okay in a lot of ways, right? They suffer with, just like adults, they suffer with anxiety. They suffer with sadness. They suffer with being overwhelmed. And social media is a huge contributor, right? They talk about it all the time. They are comparing themselves. There's a comparative culture going on, right? Then they're facing cyberbullying, and they have unrealistic expectations. They form those unrealistic expectations in their minds, so they're struggling with that. So,
good evening, Tawanda. Good evening, Sister McCullough. How are you?
Okay, so parents, I want you to ask yourself, what is one thing I wish I understood about my child's world? Because their world is different than ours. And kids and kids or teens listening, right? Are they listening? They not, and we think they're just a lost generation, and you can't tell them anything, and we assuming, right, that they're just acting out, but a lot of times they're dealing with mental health challenges, and we are contributing that to being bad or having anger problems, but they're definitely facing challenges with mental health.
And there's a difference between we have to be there for our children.
Yeah.
Have to be there for our loved ones. Have to be there for our families. There's a difference between caring about someone and caring for someone.
Okay.
Say that again. There's a difference between caring about someone and caring for someone. Mm-hmm. I can care about you from my sofa right here, but to care for you means that I'm there when you need me.
Right.
That's caring for someone. Mm-hmm. So we have to learn how to care for the ones that are in need, the ones that are suffering and dealing with the mental issue that they may be dealing with.
Yeah. And then we talked about the young children and the teens, but we also want to talk about young adults. Like their young man, Kyron Lacey, at the LSU baby, plus this guy they were the young adults, right? So our young adults, they're carrying different kinds of weight, right? They're transitioning transitioning into adulthood. And if we remember, right, they're transitioning in a world that feels so unstable. Because I remember being a young adult and not knowing which way to go. I remember thinking about the same things they're thinking about. They're thinking about their financial, what they're going to do. They're thinking about socially what they're going to do. They're thinking about emotionally what they're going to do. They're really overwhelmed. And research says that they're actually the loneliest age group. Imagine that.
And they were overwhelmed. And you mentioned, financially, these young men were millionaires. They had millions of dollars, but money didn't solve the issue that they were dealing with. Money can't solve everything. Money can't change some situations. It takes more than money to deal with a mental illness.
Okay, and so listen to this, y'all. So think about the young adults. They're surrounded by people. They are connected online, but they are deeply alone. So I want to say, if there are any young people listening, young adults, if you're listening, hear me. Okay, you do not have to you do not have to have it all figured out. your pace is valid. So wherever you are, that's valid for where you need to be. And your journey is valid. So don't put too much pressure on yourself to conform or be like everybody else. Just be you. So that's my encouragement to the young adults. And then let's talk about
Can I give them one thing?
Of course.
That for the young adults, your mind is not designed to carry every burden. Mm-hmm. You are a child, so worry about the things that you are responsible for as a child.
Young adults.
Your mind not designed to carry the burdens of an adult. Mm-hmm. So just worry about the things that you can control and things that you are in charge of.
All right. So listen, midlife adults. Listen, midlife adults, okay? So this group of people, research say we just exhausted, right? Between raising children, caring for aging parents if you have them, career pressures, and financial stress, people are drowning behind closed doors. And some of us are running on empty and still trying to pour into everybody else. And you think because you're the strong one, right? You can't admit you need help. And I know that for me personally, you always, when you always the strong one, right? Eventually, it's just like if you have weights and you have a 10-pound weight, you can hold the 10-pound weight. And then it comes to 20 pounds, and the 20 pounds, you can hold it, and you just continue to it. And being the strong one, it's like having weights, and you just keep adding more weight and more weight and more weight, and then eventually you can't carry it. And I'm not talking from what research says. I'm talking about my own personal experience from being the strong one, right? Sometimes, sometimes you just, you get overwhelmed too. And we just have to be honest and real with ourselves. This to the strong ones, right?
And it's important for us to guard our minds, you all, mm-hmm. because we want to be in a place of peace. But for a lot of us, we're in a battleground of torment. And she mentioned about, we go to bed tired, we wake up tired. Mm-hmm. And you say, how can I be so tired? Because you fought in your sleep, you fought to get to sleep. Yeah. You have to fight to wake up, fight to go to work. And that's why we're so tired, because we're fighting this mental battle in our mind, and we're concerned about things that may never happen, situations that may never come to fruition. Mm-hmm. And we have to learn that every obstacle, every challenge, every roadblock is not the end of the world.
It feels like it sometimes, though, right?
It feels like it, but it's not the end of the world.
Right. And then let's talk about our older adults. Now, this makes me, when I was reading over this, thinking about the older adults and how we think that they're facing a different challenge, right? They are facing a different challenge because they are getting older. The kids are gone. People are not stopping by. They feel a sense of isolation. They feel grief, and they have physical limitations, right? And oftentimes they feel forgotten. And I'm gonna tell you that my mother-in-law, before she went home to be with the Lord, I tell you what, when we went over there, we used to laugh because when we drive up, she would say, y'all haven't been here since, and I think she had a calendar marking down the dates that we came. So I was like, y'all know we got to get over there because she's going to be tracking the time, or y'all ain't been here in 5 days. But they want those people around them. They want the company. Older people, they feel good when they're surrounded by their family, their loved ones, their children. And research shows that loneliness increases the risk of serious health issues.
Especially if you have a loved one that's ill or maybe down, mm-hmm. bedridden. It's important for us to go see them, and stop using the saying that I don't want to see them like that. Yeah. That's selfish. Maybe they need to see you. Mm-hmm. Maybe that seeing you will be the medicine that they need in order to feel better.
Yeah.
I never forget that. I went to see Pastor Young in hospital. He was really down sick. He had the blood clots in his lung. He was down really sick. And I walked in the room. I could see his eyes light up. He began to cry when I walked in the room. And I was an encouragement to him for him to see me. Yeah. So sometimes the biggest encouragement you can do for your loved ones is for them to see you, for you to show up.
Yeah, yeah. For real. Okay. So I want you to think of an older person you know, and when was the last time someone checked in on them? And we have some older people at our church, right? And we need to be checking on our people, y'all. I know we all busy. Everybody have their own lives, but this is always awareness, right? We want to just bring awareness to situations because we get so busy and caught up in ourselves and our lives and what we got going on, we just forget to connect. And y'all know humans were made, God created us to connect with community. And so when that doesn't happen and you start to feel isolated, and that's important. So true. Thank you.
Yeah, somebody come with Kevin and say facts.
Facts. Okay. Your words. Yeah. Because we all going through stuff. So let's shift to the silent battles we don't talk about. Some of the things we don't talk about. And let's be honest, people are hurting quietly. We're hurting quietly. So a parent might be hiding their depression while keeping the house afloat. And we have single moms and single dads, or just even with the economy that we're facing now, people are trying their best to make it, and people doing the best that they can, and having to put up a face in front of your family to show that everything is okay. Like, people are facing that, right? Some other things that battles we don't talk about. We don't talk about teens being overwhelmed by social pressure, right? Our kids, teenagers, they're overwhelmed, y'all. Believe me, I work with teenagers. They are overwhelmed, right? And what we don't consider whenever I have an issue, I have to contact a parent, and the first thing parents like, well, I don't understand what the problem is. Why they so sad? Well, what's the problem? They got a bed, they got some food, they got this to eat. But that's not it, y'all. That's not it. It's more to it than that. There's some things they need besides food and shelter and clothing. For us, that suffices, right? And then also, sometimes for us, not passing the test wouldn't be that bad, right? If you're not passing the test, it doesn't matter to us. Or not having the latest pair of shoes may not matter to us, but to them it matter. So it's not what impacts us, it's what impacts that particular person. So different things impact different people. And then let's talk about the young adults. We don't talk about young people, young adults. I know my own personal experience from my children. They don't want to. They fear failure. They don't want to fail. They fear failure, and fear and failure creates a lot of stress. A lot of stress. And I'm gonna share. I'll share. Deja is my youngest, and my older two children, they both went to college. My son went to college, and he stayed one semester and came back home. And then my daughter, Kiara, she went to college. She stayed 2 semesters and came back home. And so Deja being the youngest, and we openly had this conversation, and it shocked me because she shared that was a lot of pressure on her, right? Because she saw all of the pain and the disappointment that David and I were experiencing with the older children, and she didn't want to let us down that way, right? And so she didn't want to let us down, so that created a lot of pressure for her. And I never wanted to create that pressure for her, unintentionally or unintentionally. But young adults are struggling with those things too, y'all. So let's check on our people. Let's check on our people.
You're talking about stress.
I do a lot of. They look like Tracy, ain't he? Hey!
Bozer?
Isha Bozer. Yeah, that's the only people I know with that name. I do a lot of isolation too. I try to stay to myself, and that's not really good for you. She said it's so true, they don't. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
You mentioned stress, and here's why stress, we need to deal with stress. Stress is an assassin to clarity. It clouds your judgment, it distorts your reality, and it drowns out your voice, drowns out the voice of God.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it this way, y'all. Your mind is valuable real estate.
Ooh-wee.
It's valuable real estate. Anything can't just park and shouldn't just park in your mind.
Okay.
It's just like they will not build Section 8 housing in River Oaks. They're not going to do it because the real estate is too valuable. Not everything deserves an audience in your mind. Not everyone deserves an audience in your mind. Don't dwell on every negative thought that comes in your mind.
Yeah.
The Bible says, cast all our cares on him because he cares for us. So it's easy to say, let it go, but that's really what we got to do. Let it go and let God have it.
Yeah.
And don't dwell on it because your mind is too valuable.
That's good. That's good. Hey, Sister Pinky. So some other silent battles we don't talk about. We don't talk about being a caregiver and being exhausted. Y'all, being a caregiver, oh, that's hard work. Having to take care of somebody else is hard work, y'all. And leaders, let's talk about our leaders. Leaders, they struggle too, y'all. They struggle privately. They struggle privately because we haven't given them the grace, or we haven't given them permission to admit that they're struggling. And even in your relationships with husband and wife or spouse, they're struggling because there's a lot of pressure on both men and women to maintain the finances in the house, to make sure the bills are paid. All of that, it creates struggle for us, y'all. And then the older adults just kind of feeling left behind. Those are the things that we don't talk about. Yeah. Those are the things that we don't talk about. And so, go ahead.
No, you're doing fine.
Okay, so we want y'all to do something right now. So finish the sentence in your mind. I'm going to read this. Finish the sentence in your mind. I'm tired of pretending that.
I'm tired of pretending that.
Yeah. How would you finish that? I'm tired of pretending that.
Everything is okay.
Yeah. Okay. Friends as well. Yeah. Okay, what about this one? I wish someone knew. I wish someone knew. I would say, What would you say? I wish someone knew.
What I was going through.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about this one? If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I'm struggling. And people don't like to say that, right? Yeah. If I'm being honest, I'm struggling. If I'm being honest, I'm not perfect. If I'm being honest, I wish some things would change, right? Yeah. Those are some of the thoughts we have, y'all. Y'all finishing these sentences in your mind.
And that's really good. We started out talking about this young man that played for the Cowboys, Marshawn. Mm-hmm. And that's why, what you're referencing there, that's why a lot of people give up and take their own lives, because they feel like they have no way out. They feel like there's nothing no one can do to help them. The enemy does not need to destroy your life. He just needs to disrupt your thoughts.
Yes, mine.
You just want to disrupt your thoughts. And if you get your thoughts, he can get you to do something to yourself or harm yourself. Yeah. Because the battle, like I say, the battle is in our minds, y'all.
Mm-hmm. And so that what I just did, David, was to that's the start of healing, right? The start of healing, y'all, is honesty. So we can't heal unless we're honest. So in order for us to heal, we have to be honest. And so my challenge tonight is for us to just be real with ourselves, just be honest with ourselves on where we are, who we are. That's, that right, Michelle? Tired of faking and shaking. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So now we're going to transition to what each generation needs. So we talked about the young children, teenagers, young adults, middle age, older adults. And let's talk about what each group needs, because we want you to walk away with something to be able to help your children that you encounter, help the young adults, just to be able to encourage somebody else. So kids and teens, what they need consistent emotional support. They need safe spaces to talk. They need real boundaries around social media. And we need to have a conversation with them that people don't post their worst picture. They post everything that's their best. Yeah. And yeah, nobody's going to really show who they really are. And you know, when we were growing up, when we would be watching TV, used to watch the TV with the car called Kid. Do you remember the car called Kid? And the car could do all this stuff. Yeah. And I used to be so excited about it when I was so young, and they used to be like, it's just TV, right? So we need to start getting back to telling our kids it's just social media. Like that's not real life. We have to get back to doing that. Okay?
Some of them, that is their life.
Yeah. Well, true. And then teens and young kids, they need adults who listen without lecturing. And I know that I was always a lecturer, and I know that if I knew better, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have done it that way. So this encouraged somebody, they need adults who listen without lecturing. And they need language for their emotions, right? I can tell you that the kids don't have language for their emotions. And what I mean by that is that there are 4 basic emotions that we have. We have happy, sad, mad, angry, right? So those, like, we have the 4, and then around those 4 are all different emotions, like disgusted, humiliated, embarrassed, whatever. They work around us. It's called emotion wheel. If you want to look it up, it's called the emotion wheel. But they have the main wheel, and then they have all the intensity from the wheel. And I'm so tongue tied tonight, and I don't know why. But so they have all the emotions from the emotion wheel, right? And when you're looking at a child and they're lashing out, or they're hitting somebody, or they're fighting, or throwing a temper tantrum, it's because they don't have the language for their emotions. They don't have the language for their emotions. And that's why it's important that we give them or help them with the language for their emotions, so they'll be able to deal with it, right? So they need emotionally responsive parenting, and because that reduces anxiety, and then it takes away the risk for them growing up to be older and still continue to suffer with these things. Okay? And then let's talk about what the young adults need. Young adults, they need mentors who listen. They need mentoring. Right? They need community. They need space to fail. I know that they call it failing forward. They got to be able to fail forward. And you cannot truly succeed if you don't fail. So they need space to fail. And we talked one other time about the subject of remembering who you were as a kid. And if we remember how we were when we were younger, and how we had to fail to even get to where we are today.
It helped us with our children.
Yeah.
I think we made a lot of mistakes with our children growing up because we didn't have these tools in order to help us to parent. But I think that's why God gives us grandchildren now. Now we can get it right the second time with our grandchildren.
Yeah. And they need real life skills, and they need support without judgment, right? They need support without judgment. No, they need us to just support them without feeling like they're being judged by us. So what's something you're afraid to say out loud? What's something you're afraid to say out loud? Yeah, you got to be firm with them. Absolutely. You got to be firm. You cannot be their friend, but you got to have a boundary, because rules without relationship equals rebellion. Rules without relationship equals rebellion. So you have to have that balance. We have to balance it. Okay, so let's talk about what adults need. Let's talk about that. So adults, we need rest, y'all. We need rest. We need permission not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's not okay to stay in that space, but it's okay not to be okay. We need boundaries. We need safe relationships. We need safe relationships, y'all. Safe relationships are really important, because that allows you to be vulnerable. That allows you to receive that validation, right, with no pressure. Because people need validation with no pressure, y'all. And I can tell you, just yesterday, I had gotten some bad news, and it was, to somebody else it's not bad, but to me it was bad news. And I was about to just go into a man. Why, Lord, what's the lesson you're trying to teach me, and why I keep having to do the same thing over and over again? I don't understand. But I'm better today. Praise God, I'm better
And
today.
she's better today. And if you're in a place of feeling defeated, she felt defeated yesterday. You're in a place of feeling defeated. It will cause your decision to come from a place of defeat. How you say it? Place of defeat.
Defeat?
The place of defeat. That's how you say it. Thank you, teacher. If you're feeling defeated, your decision will come from a place of defeat.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important for us to. We were not created to live overwhelmed, but overcoming. We were not created to live overwhelmed, but overcoming. And the peace that you're looking for is not out there. The peace you're looking for is already in you.
Mm.
It's the Spirit of God already in you. The peace is already in you.
Ooh, that's good.
The Spirit of God.
All right. Hey, Sister Webb, we see you. Okay,
Hey, Sister
so let's talk about what the older adults need. We talked about it. They need connection. They need purpose. They need regular check-ins, y'all. We got to check in on these people. They need emotional validation, and they need inclusion. They need to be included. What is that going to look like in 10 years when, like there are no computers when we were little, and now everything is changing, right? Everything keeps evolving. And so when you get older, sometimes you're not evolving as fast as the world is evolving. So they need to be included in what we got going on. They have to be included. And so how we support ourselves and each other. Let's talk about that before we jump off. But let's talk about how we're going to support ourselves and each other. So we're going to practice the ask, listen, validation method. Okay? It's called the ask, listen, validate method, right? Ask. So you're gonna ask, you're gonna listen, and then you're gonna validate. No interrupting, no fixing, no dismissing. Okay? So I'm gonna give you an example, y'all. We're gonna role play. Hey David, how you feeling today?
I feel fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. How was your day?
Day was good, thank you. How was yours?
It was good. You have anything that special happened or that you're dealing with? Mentally, physically, emotionally?
No, not today. I don't.
You're not a good role player. So. Okay.
I'm supposed to have something.
You're supposed to, yeah. Okay. So the goal is to ask, listen, and then validate. If you had a hard day, yeah, I can understand why that would be hard. Whatever it is that you went through. When your kids come home and they say they had a bad day, they got an F on their homework. Oh, I can understand why that's challenging for you today. You listen, you ask, you listen, and then you validate. Because you have to validate the person's feelings, okay?
Gotcha.
You got it? Okay. So here's another thing we have to remember. We have to remember that we have to connect before we correct. Connect before we correct. And that's the same thing that rules without relationship equals rebellion, right? And then for young adults, they have to build a support circle. Limit comparison. They can journal their thoughts, ground themselves, and remember, you are allowed to grow at your own pace. Young people, stop putting pressure on yourself, young adults, that I need to be here. I need to make this amount of money. I got to have this and that by this certain age and all of that. That's too much pressure. Too much pressure for you. Okay? Go ahead.
Well, I would add this, that speaking about pressure, that there is no... The stress and anxiety comes when we maximize our problems and minimize God. That's what causes the stress and anxiety. But you have to remember tonight that there's no situation, no circumstance, no problem that's bigger than our God.
Amen.
And if the problem is bigger than your God, then your God not big enough. That's not the God that I serve.
Okay. So y'all, let me just remind y'all to check in with your people, right? Some of y'all have friends who are barely holding on. Check in with your people. Check in with your people, y'all. Check in with your people. Yeah. Okay, so I want to give you another. We did a strategy. I want to talk about try 3 steps to check in. I'm gonna tell you how to check in. 3 ways to check in. How's your heart? How's your heart? What's heavy right now? How can I support you? That's a check-in. How's your heart? What's heavy right now, and how can I support you? Because people want to feel supported. And sometimes you can just send a text, right? You can just send a text. You crossed my mind today. That can change somebody's life. So now let's talk about for the church and faith community on what we can do, or what we need to do. The church must normalize mental health conversation. We have to normalize mental health conversations. We got to get out of this, playing it safe. Mental health is in the Bible. There are people that suffer from mental health in the Bible. So we got to start to normalize mental health conversations. Yeah. And we can't shame people. We cannot shame people into healing. We can pray for them, but we can't shame them into healing. And we need trauma-informed ministry and partnerships with mental health professionals. We need to, a lot of people are dealing with mental health challenges, right? And remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup.
And mental illness is not a new thing. She mentioned the Bible. I mean, David suffered from depression.
Oh, yeah.
Job suffered from trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Elijah suffered from anxiety. So it's not a new thing, y'all. It's been around for a long time. So we can't just sweep it under the rug and pretend that it doesn't happen.
Hey, First Lady Jay. That's my high school buddy. Hey, how you doing, darling?
As we get ready to close, I'll add this, that we have to be intentional about what we allow in our thoughts, and what we allow to dwell in our thoughts will determine your destiny. What you allow to dwell in your thoughts will determine your destiny. We have to guard our minds, y'all. Mm-hmm. And some of us are mentally exhausted because we're fighting battles we were never meant to fight. Your mind, stop stressing about tomorrow's problems that may never happen, and still agonizing about yesterday's issues that's already passed.
All right. So I want to challenge y'all to choose one thing to do in the next 48 hours, okay? Reach out to someone who's been quiet that you haven't heard from, or reach out to someone. Check on an older adult. Have a heart-level conversation with your spouse or your child. Schedule a therapy appointment. Y'all, it's okay to go to therapy. I'm not sure where that became not okay. It's okay to go to therapy, y'all. Take a break from social media. Take a break. Just take a break. If it's just 1 day or 1 hour, start journaling. Start writing things down. Pray and meditate, y'all. Pray for clarity and meditate for clarity. And then if you are really struggling, y'all ask for help. Ask for help. So just one step can change everything. Just one step can change everything. So here's a reflection moment. Think about these questions. What truth did I need tonight to hear from this? What truth did I need tonight? Who do I need to check in on? What do I need from my own mental health? What do I need from my own mental health? And what boundaries do I need to set? Yeah. So if someone you know is struggling, there are resources, and I'm going to put them in the chat after we finish. There are resources that I have, and you can go online and get them. But we have, if someone is needing help, you can call 988. It's a suicide and crisis line. It's a lifeline. It's 988. Or you can just text the crisis line. You can text home to 741-741. There are a lot of resources. Y'all. There are resources out there. So I have a closing affirmation. I got a closing affirmation. I want everybody to repeat after me. I can't hear y'all, but repeat after me. Okay, this is for anyone who's struggling. Y'all ready? I am loved.
I am loved.
It's okay to ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help.
I deserve rest.
I deserve rest.
My feelings matter.
My feelings matter.
Hope is still real for me.
Hope is still real for me.
Hope is still real for me. Y'all don't give up hope. And for those supporting others I have some more. If you're supporting somebody else, you really got to say this because you're supporting me. I can be a safe space, a safe place.
I can be a safe place.
I choose empathy over judgment.
I choose empathy over judgment.
I don't need all the answers to show love.
I don't need all the answers to show love.
Yeah, remember, we listening. We ask, listen, validate. Okay? So if you remember nothing else, remember this. If you remember nothing else tonight, remember this. Everyone is fighting something you cannot see. And you could be the reason someone keeps going. So this has been Real Talk with the Taylors. Thank you for joining. And remember, your voice matters. Your story matters. So let's keep talking. Let's keep healing. All right. We love y'all. Have a good night. Let me get my little theme song. Hold on, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Thank y'all for getting on. We appreciate it. Hope you were helped. Hope somebody was helped tonight. Don't forget, if you remember nothing else, remember everyone is fighting something you cannot see. Y'all, let's be kind to each other. Thank you. Love you. Hey, cousin. Hey, Karen, Jennifer. That's First Lady J. Hey, Miss Margot. Who is that? Nellie, cousin Nellie, Karen. Hey, Sister Felder. Yes, Toy, be a listening ear. I love it. Love you, Jen. Good night, cousin. Good night. Good night, Sister Jenkins. Good night, Sister Craft. All right. Oh, good night, Shaq. Was that Tracy? Ain't on there, Shaq? Thank you, Tawana. Love you. Shaq, was that Bozier on there, Sister Tracy's auntie? Good night, Toy. Love you, girl. Oh, your friend. Okay. I think your friend, my best friend Amy. Her name. Thank y'all for getting on. We appreciate it. Love y'all. Good night.